In today's world, being a woman is not just about beauty, charm, or success. True strength is about wisdom, grace, and the ability to walk with God's guidance, even in the most difficult paths. A smart woman is not the loudest in the room, she is the calmest. She is not the one who chases, she is the one who attracts with her values. And she is not the one who follows the world blindly, but the one who follows the timeless rules of inner strength, peace, and dignity. Today, let us reflect together on 7 powerful rules that every smart woman follows. Rules that are not just for success, but for living a meaningful, fulfilled, and God-centered life. My friends, let us pause for a moment and think how many of us wake up in the morning, and before the sun has even fully risen, our minds are already full of noise. Noise of worries, expectations, deadlines, responsibilities, comparisons, and endless scrolling on our phones. We may not realize it, but every single day we are attacked. Not physically, but mentally and emotionally, by countless sources that try to steal our inner peace. And here lies the difference between an ordinary woman and a truly smart woman. A smart woman protects her inner peace like a treasure chest. She treats it as her sacred wealth, her divine gift, something no one else has the right to take away. Now, what is inner peace? Inner peace is that quiet strength inside you that does not shake, even if the whole world tries to push you down. It is the smile you carry even when the circumstances are tough. It is the ability to remain calm in the middle of a storm, because you know storms do not last forever. A smart woman knows this. If she loses her peace, she loses everything. She may look strong on the outside, she may wear beautiful clothes, she may achieve great success. But if her heart is restless, her soul tired, her mind full of anxiety, then what has she really gained? Let me give you an example. Imagine 2 women in the same office. Both are hardworking, both are talented, but one of them gets upset at every little criticism. If her boss points out a mistake, her whole day is ruined. If a colleague speaks harshly, she keeps thinking about it again and again, unable to focus on her work. She reacts instantly, and her emotions control her actions. On the other hand, the second woman, she also receives criticism. She also faces difficult people, but she does not allow these things to disturb her inner calm. She listens carefully, she accepts what is useful, and she lets go of what is unnecessary. She knows that holding on to negative words is like holding a burning coal. It only burns you, not the other person. At the end of the day, the first woman goes home drained, while the second goes home peaceful. Now, who is smarter? Clearly, the one who guarded her peace. My dear friends, life will never stop testing us. People will say things, situations will challenge us, and sometimes even our own thoughts will try to defeat us. But a smart woman knows that peace is not found in the outside world, it is created and protected inside. She learns to say no to drama. She learns to step away from toxic conversations. She learns to breathe deeply when anger tries to control her. And most importantly, she remembers that God's voice can only be heard in silence. If her heart is restless, she cannot feel His guidance. So she protects her peace because it is in peace that wisdom speaks. Think about a glass of water. If the water is shaken, it becomes cloudy and you cannot see clearly through it. But if the glass is kept still, the water settles and everything becomes transparent. The same is true with our minds. When our minds are constantly shaken by emotions, we lose clarity. We make wrong decisions. We say words we later regret. We hurt ourselves and others. But when the mind is calm, decisions become clearer, words become softer, and life flows smoothly. This is why smart women protect their inner calm, because it is the foundation of every wise choice. Now, does this mean that a smart woman never feels anger, sadness, or frustration? Of course not, she is human. But the difference is, she does not let those emotions drive her life. She feels them, understands them, and then gently releases them. She knows that emotions are visitors, not permanent residents. Why give them the power to rule her house? I want you to imagine a scene. A woman is sitting in her home, and suddenly a stranger knocks at the door, shouting and causing chaos. Would she invite this stranger inside and let them destroy the house? No, she would protect her home. In the same way, negative emotions and unnecessary arguments are like strangers knocking on the door of your heart. A smart woman does not give them the keys to her inner world. She guards it like a temple, because she knows that peace is sacred. My friends, protecting inner peace does not mean running away from responsibilities. It means carrying them with grace. It means understanding that your response is more important than the situation. It means realizing that you cannot control what others say or do, but you can always control how you respond. And when you choose peace over reaction, you are not weak. You are powerful beyond imagination. Remember, anyone can shout, anyone can argue, anyone can lose temper. That is easy. But it takes true intelligence, true strength to remain calm, to remain graceful, to remain peaceful. That is the power of a smart woman. She is like a lotus flower, surrounded by muddy water, yet untouched, blooming beautifully above it all. So protect your inner peace, because it is your real wealth. Jobs may come and go, relationships may rise and fall, beauty may fade with time. But if you carry peace inside your heart, you will always walk with dignity, strength, and the light of God shining within you. My friends, there is a silent struggle that many people, especially women, carry in their hearts every single day. It is the pressure to be liked, to be accepted, to please everyone around them. From a young age, society teaches us to fit into molds, to meet expectations, to sacrifice our own comfort for the approval of others. And in this constant effort to please, many women unknowingly lose something far more precious: their self-respect. But a smart woman knows this truth. If you lose your self-respect to make others happy, you have lost more than you can ever gain. You see, the world is never satisfied. If you try to make one person happy, another will criticize you. If you try to meet one expectation, another will arise. And no matter how hard you try, you cannot please everyone. A smart woman realizes this early. She knows that real strength is not in being liked by all, but in standing tall with dignity. Even if some people disagree with her, she values her self-respect above the temporary smiles of others. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine a woman who is always saying yes. She says yes when her boss overloads her with work, even though she is exhausted. She says yes when her friends demand her time, even though she needs rest. She says yes to family members, to neighbors, to everyone, because she does not want to upset anyone. At first, people may call her kind and helpful. But slowly, they start taking her for granted. They stop respecting her boundaries. And one day, she looks in the mirror and wonders, why do I feel so empty? Why do I feel invisible? It is because she gave away her respect, piece by piece, while trying to please the whole world. Now picture another woman. She too is kind and helpful, but she has learned the power of saying no when necessary. She respects her own time, her own energy, and her own needs. If her plate is full, she politely declines. If something does not align with her values, she stands firm. People may not always like her decisions, but they respect her. And when she looks in the mirror, She sees a woman of strength, not someone who betrayed herself for others. Which one is smarter? The answer is clear. My friends, valuing self respect does not mean becoming arrogant. It does not mean being selfish or uncaring. It means knowing your worth. It means treating yourself with the same honor you wish others to give you. Think about it. If you do not respect yourself, why would anyone else respect you? Respect always begins within. In relationships, this principle is even more powerful. Many women stay in unhealthy relationships because they fear loneliness or they fear judgment from society. They keep pleasing their partner even when they are not valued in return. But a smart woman understands that love without respect is not love at all. It is dependency. She knows that she deserves to be with someone who sees her worth, not someone who constantly makes her feel small. So she does not beg for love. She does not chase approval. She walks away from situations that insult her soul. That walking away is not weakness. It is her greatest strength. Let me share a metaphor. Imagine you are wearing a crown of gold. If you keep bowing too low just to be accepted by others, that crown will eventually fall. But if you walk upright with dignity, the crown stays in its rightful place. A smart woman knows that her crown is her self-respect, and she never bows so low that she loses it. Think of the great women throughout history. Were they remembered because they pleased everyone? No. They were remembered because they stood firm in their values, even when the world criticized them. Their respect came not from pleasing people, but from being authentic, courageous, and true to themselves. That is the path of a smart woman. She does not trade her dignity for temporary approval. My friends, here is a truth to remember. People may forget what you did for them. They may forget the sacrifices you made, but they will never forget how you respected yourself in front of them. Respect commands presence. Respect creates influence. Respect makes people listen, even in silence. And when a woman values her own self-respect, she naturally earns the respect of others. Now let us look at daily life again. When a smart woman walks into a room, she does not need to shout, she does not need to prove herself, she does not need to beg for attention. Her presence speaks because she carries the quiet confidence of someone who knows her worth. She may not be the loudest, but she is the most impactful. Why? Because dignity is magnetic. Self-respect has an aura that cannot be ignored. But remember, valuing self-respect also means making tough choices. Sometimes it means walking away from friendships that no longer honor your growth. Sometimes it means saying no to opportunities that compromise your values. Sometimes it means standing alone for what you believe is right. These choices are never easy. They may hurt in the short term, but in the long term, they protect your soul, they build your strength, and they make you unshakable. So, my dear sisters, let me leave you with this thought. Do not measure your life by how many people you pleased. Measure it by how many times you stood firm with dignity. Do not chase applause, it fades quickly. Chase respect, for it stays forever. And above all, remember this: your worth does not come from the changing opinions of people. Your worth comes from the unchanging truth of God, who created you with dignity, grace, and infinite strength. A smart woman knows this. That is why she never lowers her crown to please the crowd. She holds it high, she walks with dignity, and the world cannot help but admire the radiance of her self-respect. My friends, let us pause and think how much of our happiness, our peace, our growth, and even our sadness comes from the people we surround ourselves with. Relationships are like soil. If the soil is fertile, a plant will flourish. But if the soil is toxic, No matter how much you water it, the plant will struggle. In the same way, the people we allow into our lives directly shape the way we think, feel, and grow. This is why a smart woman is very careful, very conscious, and very wise in choosing her relationships. She knows that the company she keeps is the future she creates. A smart woman understands that not everyone who smiles at you is your friend, and not everyone who claps for you truly supports you. She has the courage to see beyond appearances. She observes carefully, not with suspicion, but with wisdom. She asks herself, does this person bring me closer to my better self, or do they pull me down into negativity? She invests her time in people who uplift, encourage, and inspire her, because she knows that relationships are not about quantity, but about quality. Let me give you an example. Imagine two women. One is surrounded by many people. Her phone never stops buzzing. Her social calendar is always full, and she is always busy trying to keep up with everyone. But many of those people gossip, complain, or secretly envy her progress. At the end of the day, she feels drained, confused, and insecure because her energy is scattered among people who do not truly care for her. Now picture another woman. She does not have hundreds of people around her. Her circle is small, just a few friends, maybe even only one or two. But these people are loyal, genuine, and supportive. When she falls, they lift her. When she doubts herself, they remind her of her strength. When she succeeds, they celebrate without jealousy. That woman goes home with a heart full of peace, not emptiness. Tell me who is smarter. It is clear, the one who chose relationships wisely. My friends, there is a simple truth. Your circle is your mirror. If you spend time with people who gossip, you will find yourself gossiping. If you surround yourself with people who complain, you will start to complain. If your closest company is full of anger, negativity, and blame, you will unknowingly absorb the same energy. But if you spend time with people who talk about growth, who encourage kindness, who live with purpose, then your own life will start to reflect those qualities. This is why a smart woman never settles for relationships that harm her peace. She knows that her environment shapes her destiny. A wise woman once said, "Don't let people rent space in your mind who don't even pay respect." How true is that? So many times we allow toxic people to live rent-free in our hearts and minds. We replay their hurtful words, we hold on to their negativity, and we keep giving them the power to disturb us. But a smart woman knows when to let go. She does not hate them, she does not curse them, she simply releases them and prays for their well-being while protecting her own journey. She knows that letting go is not cruelty, it is wisdom. Think of a garden. If you want your flowers to grow, you must remove the weeds. The weeds are not evil, but they do not belong in the space where beauty is meant to flourish. Similarly, toxic relationships are like weeds. If you keep them, they will consume your energy, your time, your joy. But if you gently remove them, your true relationships, the flowers will bloom brighter. Now, some people say, but isn't it selfish to cut people out? My friends, it is not selfish. It is self-respect. A smart woman does not cut people out with hatred. She simply creates healthy boundaries. She knows her value, and she knows that protecting her energy allows her to serve others better. She chooses wisely because she understands that love and respect are not forced. They are mutual. Let me tell you a small story. A woman once said yes to every friendship, every connection, because she did not want to seem unfriendly. She became everyone's shoulder to cry on, everyone's problem solver, everyone's helper. But slowly, she realized that many people only came to her when they needed something. Few stayed when she was the one who needed help. Her energy was drained, and she felt alone even in a crowd. Then one day she decided to reflect. She asked herself, who truly adds value to my life? Who loves me when I am strong and still loves me when I am weak? That day, she began to choose wisely. She gently let go of draining relationships and invested in the few who genuinely cared. From that day forward, her life transformed, not because she had more people, but because she had the right people. My friends, smart women are not afraid of walking alone for a while if it means avoiding the wrong company. They know that it is better to walk alone in peace than to walk with people who disturb your soul. They wait patiently for relationships that are rooted in trust, love, and growth. They do not chase people who walk away because they know that true connections never require chasing. So, let me remind you, choose relationships that make you better, not bitter. Choose people who clap when you win, not those who secretly hope you fail. Choose friends who pray for you behind your back, not those who speak against you in your absence. And above all, choose wisely, because the people around you are the architects of your inner world. A smart woman knows that life is too short to spend in the wrong company. She walks with those who inspire her, she listens to those who uplift her, and she shares her energy with those who respect her soul. That is why she flourishes, that is why she grows, and that is why she shines, because her relationships are chosen not out of fear, but out of wisdom. My friends, life is like a tightrope. On one side, we have responsibilities pulling us, and on the other side, we have our dreams and desires pulling us. Below lies the noise of society, expectations, and comparisons. And above us is God's gentle guidance, reminding us to walk with grace. To live well is not to lean too far in one direction and fall. It is to walk steadily in balance. This is why a smart woman masters the art of balance. She does not allow one part of her life to consume all of her energy while the others remain empty. She learns to balance her career, her family, her relationships, and most importantly, her spiritual life. Think about it. How many times do we see women who are extremely successful in their professional lives but feel lonely and unfulfilled at home? Or women who dedicate every drop of energy to their family yet neglect their own personal growth, slowly losing their identity. And then there are those who are so busy chasing material achievements that they forget to nourish their soul. A smart woman knows that this is not true success. True success is harmony. True success is when your mind, body, heart, and spirit are aligned, not when one thrives and the others suffer. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine a wheel with 4 spokes: health, relationships, work, and spirituality. If one spoke breaks, the wheel cannot roll smoothly. Life becomes bumpy, stressful, and unbalanced. But when all the spokes are cared for, the wheel rolls forward effortlessly. A smart woman makes sure she pays attention to all 4. She may not give each one equal time every single day, but over the course of her journey, she balances them so none are neglected. Take the example of a working mother. She has deadlines at the office, children waiting for her attention, a household to manage, and her own personal dreams to nurture. If she tries to give everything to her work and nothing to her family, her success may look shiny from the outside, but inside her heart will feel empty. On the other hand, if she only sacrifices for her family and never gives herself the chance to grow, she will one day feel regret. The smart woman is not perfect, but she learns how to distribute her time, her energy, and her focus. When she is at work, she is fully present. When she is with her children, she gives them her heart. And when she is alone, she gives time to her spirit. That is balance. It is not about doing everything equally, but about being fully present wherever you are. My friends, balance is not something we are born with. It is something we must practice daily. It means learning when to say yes and when to say no. It means knowing when to rest and when to work. It means understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup. A smart woman does not see self-care as selfish. She knows that if she burns herself out completely, she cannot truly serve her family, her career, or even her higher purpose. By protecting her own energy, she becomes more capable of serving others with love. Let me share a metaphor with you. Picture a dancer performing on stage. The dancer must keep moving, shifting weight from one foot to the other, bending here, stretching there, but all with grace. If she leans too much in one direction, she falls. But with practice, she masters the art of balance, and her performance becomes mesmerizing. Life is that stage, and we are all dancers. A smart woman perfects her steps not by trying to control everything, but by flowing with rhythm, adjusting when needed, and never losing her grace. Another example, imagine someone carrying water in two pots balanced on a stick across their shoulders. If one pot is too heavy, the person will stumble. But when the weight is distributed, the journey becomes easier. This is the way a smart woman carries her life. She distributes her energy wisely, so she can walk steadily on the path of growth. But let us be honest, balance does not mean life will be easy. There will be days when work demands more, when family needs more, when health requires attention, when the heart feels heavy. A smart woman accepts this, but she does not allow one season to define her forever. She adjusts, like a sailor who changes the sail according to the wind, always keeping her boat steady on the ocean of life. Balance also means remembering the soul. Many people give attention to their outer life, but forget their inner world. A smart woman knows that without balance between the outer and inner, life feels hollow. She may achieve much, but without